Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at West Coast Paper Mills Limited.
WCPM?
WCPM. Yeah.
You've given us a whole bunch of stuff here.
Yeah.
There are unaudited financials, press releases,
Yep.
and even an investor presentation.
A whole stack.
Looks like you really want to get a handle on this company,
Yeah.
how they work, what their future might be,
Absolutely.
especially in the paper industry.
You know, it's a really interesting time for the paper industry,
Yeah.
especially as the world is becoming more and more digital.
Right.
So, what kind of story are these reports going to tell us?
Well, just glancing at their Q2 FY25 results,
Yeah.
it's a little concerning. The profits have really taken a hit.
Oh, wow.
Their PTT,
Okay.
the profit after tax,
Right.
is down 40.9% year over year for the standalone figures.
Okay.
And for the consolidated,
Oh.
it's down even more.
Wow.
54%.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that can't be good, right?
Well, definitely raises some questions.
Yeah, but we shouldn't hit the panic button just yet.
Okay.
You always have to look at these numbers in context. You know, for example, while PAT is down, the consolidated revenue actually increased by 9%.
Okay.
Quarter over quarter.
So they're making more money,
Right.
but also spending more.
Yeah.
What's driving that?
Well, the reports point to some challenges for the entire industry,
Okay.
particularly the high cost of wood. It's a global trend.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's putting pressure on margins
Okay.
for everybody.
Right.
Imagine if you were running a bakery
Yeah.
and all of a sudden the price of flour just skyrocketed.
Oh, yeah.
It's a tough situation
Absolutely.
for anybody to do.
Right. So that explains some of the pressure on their profits.
Right.
But what about this increased revenue?
Yeah.
Where's that growth coming from?
Interestingly, the overall demand for paper in India is actually quite strong.
Really?
Yeah. Growing even faster than the global average.
Wow.
And WCPM seems to be well positioned
Yeah.
to benefit from that trend.
What makes you say that?
Well, I mean,
Because they also talk about cheap imports
Right.
hurting them.
yeah,
Ew.
they're definitely facing some stiff competition
Okay.
from imported paper, particularly in the printing and writing segment.
Yeah.
It seems that countries in the ASEAN region
Okay.
are able to produce paper more cheaply
Oh.
and export it at a lower cost,
Mm.
which puts pressure on WCPM's pricing.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But if demand is so high in India,
Yeah.
why can't they compete with those imports?
Well, it's complicated.
Okay.
WCPM does have some key advantages.
Such as?
Well, one of them is their huge manufacturing capacity.
How big are we talking?
Well, they can produce 320,000 metric tons
One.
per annum,
Wow.
which makes them one of the largest
Oh,
single-location plants
wow.
in the world.
That's hard to even picture. So they have the capacity to make a lot of paper,
Right.
but can they get it to the people who need it?
They do have a robust distribution network
Okay.
with over 70 dealers across India.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and a lot of those are long-term partners, which suggests that they have a very strong and stable presence
Right.
in the market.
So this isn't some small operation.
No, not at all.
Only with they've got the capacity, they've got the reach, this
Yeah.
strong foothold
Right.
in a growing market, but profits are down.
Yeah.
What else are they doing to kind of manage all these different challenges?
Well, they're not just sitting around waiting for things to get better.
Okay.
They're actively working on cost optimization strategies.
Hmm.
And they seem to be managing other input costs,
Like
power,
okay.
fairly well.
So they're trying to tighten their belts,
Yeah.
become more efficient,
Right.
and kind of ride out this storm
Yeah.
of high wood prices and fierce competition. But are they doing anything else to kind of stay ahead?
It seems like they're not putting all their eggs in one basket.
Okay.
They're diversifying their products.
Light.
Their optical fiber cables segment
Oh, interesting.
is already contributing about 7% of revenue.
So even as we're looking at these paper reports,
Right.
we're seeing hints that they're maybe looking beyond paper.
Absolutely.
I'm curious to see where that leads us.
Yeah.
But first, let's zoom out a little
Okay.
and look at the bigger picture. What's the overall outlook for the paper industry?
Well, the investor presentation really highlights a key trend:
What's that?
consolidation.
Meaning?
So the industry is kind of going through a shift
Okay.
where bigger players like WCPM are acquiring smaller companies, which creates more competitive landscape,
Right.
which can be challenging,
Yeah.
but it also presents some growth opportunities.
So we've got this company
Yeah.
facing some pretty serious headwinds. Profits are falling,
Right.
but they're also showing signs of strength and resilience.
Right.
I mean, they're in this growing market. They've got this massive operation.
Yeah.
They're taking steps to manage those costs and diversify.
Absolutely.
It's kind of a mixed bag, wouldn't you say?
It is.
Yeah.
But that's what makes this deep dive so interesting.
Right.
There are some concerning signs.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot to be optimistic about.
Absolutely.
It's not a simple story.
Right.
And that's what we're here to unravel.
Yeah, we're not just looking at the surface level here.
Right.
We want to understand all the details, the nuances,
The complexity
of forces that are shaping their future.
Yeah.
And I got to admit, I always love those little details.
Uh-huh.
The things that give you a feel for a company's personality.
Right.
What jumped out at you from these reports?
Well, one detail that really caught my eye was that WCPM was the first in all of Asia to install a specific type of paper machine.
What is it?
It's called a twin-wire paperformer.
A twin-wire paperformer.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
It suggests that they have a history of innovation.
Okay.
And a willingness to invest in cutting-edge technology.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What about their sustainability efforts? I mean, the paper industry doesn't always have the best reputation.
Right.
When it comes to the environment, so...
But WCPM seems to be taking sustainability very seriously.
Okay.
They have FSC certification.
Okay.
Which means that their wood comes from responsibly managed forests.
Right.
They also work with a group called SARA.
Okay.
That promotes tree farming and sustainable forestry practices.
So they're not just thinking about profit.
No.
They're thinking about the long-term health of the forests they rely on.
Exactly.
And they have a dedicated research center, don't they?
They do.
What are they working on over there?
Well, it seems like they're constantly coming up with new paper formulations and trying to improve the quality and performance of their products based on feedback from their customers.
So they're not just churning out the same old paper.
Nope.
They're actively trying to innovate.
Yeah.
Meet evolving customer needs.
Absolutely.
This is really starting to paint a picture of WCPM. We've got this company with a long history, a strong presence in a growing market, this commitment to sustainability and innovation. But they're also facing these serious challenges like rising costs and fierce competition. It's complicated.
It is a very complex story.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
We have.
You ready to dig a little deeper?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
You know, going through these financial statements, it's remarkable how financially stable WCPM seems.
Really? What makes you say that? I mean, we just talked about their profits taking a hit.
Right, but short-term fluctuations in profit don't always tell the whole story.
Right.
If you look at their balance sheet, their gross debt-to-equity ratio is incredibly low.
Okay.
Only 0.06x. And because they have positive free cash flow, their net debt-to-equity is actually negative.
Okay, hold on. For those of us who aren't quite as financially savvy, what does that mean?
Sure.
Is that a good thing?
It's a very good thing.
Okay.
Simply put, it means WCPM isn't drowning in debt.
Okay.
They're generating enough cash from their operations to cover their financial obligations and still have money left over to invest in future growth.
So it's like having a healthy savings account.
Exactly.
You've got that cushion to handle unexpected expenses. And you can even maybe splurge a little on things that'll help you grow.
Exactly. And their cash flow statement backs this up.
Okay.
They've had an average annual cash flow from operations of over 300 crores.
Wait, now you're just trying to use big words.
Yeah.
What's a crore?
Oh, a crore is just a unit.
Okay.
In the Indian numbering system, it's equal to 10 million.
Okay.
So they're bringing in a significant amount of cash each year.
So that's a healthy sign.
It's a very healthy sign.
Okay.
It means they have the financial flexibility
to
fund expansion, develop new products, or even explore new markets.
Speaking of new markets, the investor presentation did mention that WCPM is looking for geographic expansion opportunities.
It seems they're not content with just maintaining their current position. They see potential for growth beyond their existing footprint.
Makes sense. Especially if demand for paper in India keeps growing.
And their strong financial position allows them to pursue these opportunities without taking on too much risk. It's like they're a well-prepared hiker setting off on a new trail. They've got the right gear. They've packed enough supplies. They've studied the map.
Right.
They're ready for whatever comes their way.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
It seems like the folks running WCPM are pretty confident about the future.
Yeah.
Didn't we also see somewhere that the promoters
Yes.
have been increasing their stake in the company?
The promoters,
Yeah.
who are essentially the founders,
Right.
and they control WCPM.
Uh-huh.
They have been steadily increasing their shareholding over the past few years.
Like how much?
Just gone from 52.4% in FY12
Wow.
to 56.53% in FY24.
That's a pretty clear vote of confidence.
It is.
They're putting their money where their mouth is.
Yeah.
They believe in this company.
Uh-huh.
And they're willing to bet on its success.
And it seems that the markets agree with them.
Oh, yeah.
WCPM has earned a very strong credit rating.
What is it?
Long-term A-stable.
Okay.
And short-term A1+, from both ICRA and Indian Rating.
So from a purely financial perspective, WCPM seems to be in a pretty solid position.
They do.
But, as we know, numbers only tell part of the story.
Right.
What about the company's overall strategy?
Really?
What's their secret sauce?
Their business strategy seems to be built on a few key pillars.
Right.
One of the most important is cost optimization.
No?
They're always looking for ways to streamline their processes, reduce waste, and ultimately produce paper more efficiently.
So they're trying to save money.
Yeah, it's like they're obsessed with finding every possible way to save a rupee.
And in a competitive market like this, every rupee saved makes a difference.
Exactly.
But are they sacrificing quality to save money?
It doesn't seem so.
Okay.
Remember that twin-wire PAP reformer that they were the first to install in Asia?
Uh-huh.
That suggests that they're not just cutting corners.
Okay.
They're investing in technology that can help them produce high-quality paper more efficiently.
So it's not about being cheap.
Right.
It's about being smart.
Exactly.
And efficient.
Uh-huh.
And we talked about their commitment to sustainability. How does that fit into their overall strategy?
Well, sustainability isn't just a side project for WCPM.
Okay.
It's woven into everything they do. They're implementing environmentally friendly practices in their production processes.
Okay.
They're promoting eco-friendly paper products. And they're actively involved in ensuring a sustainable supply of wood through their partnerships with farming communities.
So they understand that doing business in a responsible and sustainable way is essential for long-term success.
Absolutely.
It's not just about maximizing profit.
Right.
It's about creating value for all stakeholders, including the environment.
Exactly. They seem to recognize that a company's environmental footprint is just as important as its financial footprint.
Okay, so beyond cost optimization and sustainability, what else is driving WCPM's strategic vision?
Well, they mentioned customer focus and a dedication to building strong relationships through high-quality products and excellent service.
Yeah, that seems pretty straightforward.
It does. But in a market like paper, where there are many similar products available, building those strong customer relationships can really set you apart.
It's not just about selling paper.
Right.
It's about becoming a trusted partner.
Exactly.
For your customers.
It's about understanding their needs and providing solutions that go beyond just delivering a product.
And didn't they also emphasize innovation?
They did?
As part of their strategy?
Yes. WCPM seems to be very proactive in this area.
How so?
They have that dedicated research center where they're always experimenting with new paper formulations, improving existing products, and developing innovative paper solutions.
So they're not just a paper company. They're a technology company that happens to specialize in paper.
That's a great way to put it.
They're not content with the status quo.
No.
They're always looking for ways to improve, push the boundaries of what's possible.
And finally, their focus on market expansion is a key part of their long-term vision. They're not just looking to maintain their current position in India.
Okay.
They want to grow and expand their reach.
Yeah.
Both domestically and internationally.
So they're ambitious.
Yes.
But it seems like they've got the resources and the infrastructure to back up those ambitions.
They do.
Their extensive distribution network, strong financial position, commitment to innovation, it gives them a solid foundation for growth.
It's like they've built this strong and sturdy ship.
Okay.
And now they're setting sail.
For new horizons.
I like that.
Yeah.
But there's one more aspect of WCPM's operations that I think is worth exploring. They talk a lot about operational efficiency.
Right.
And their manufacturing facilities. Want to take a closer look at what's happening on the factory floor.
Let's do it.
All right, so we've talked strategy, financials, sustainability.
Right.
But now I'm really curious about the nuts and bolts of their operation.
Okay.
What can you tell me about WCPM's manufacturing process?
Well, their main plant in Dandeli, Karnataka, is really something.
What's so special about it?
Well, it's a fully integrated pulp mill.
Meaning?
They control the whole process.
Wow.
From raw wood to finished paper.
That's impressive.
They even have 74.8 megawatts of captive power.
Okay.
And year-round access to water from the Kali River.
So they're not reliant on external sources for power and water.
Right.
That's smart.
Yeah,
especially
with all the supply chain issues happening these days.
Exactly. It gives them a lot more control over their operations and reduces their exposure to disruptions.
Makes sense.
And their location is strategic, too.
How so?
They're surrounded by dense forests.
Okay.
So there's easy access to raw materials.
Right.
Plus, there's a dedicated railway line that connects their plant to major transportation routes.
Wow, they've really thought of everything.
It seems so.
It sounds like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
And they've been in the paper business for a while now, haven't they?
Almost 70 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it seems like they've really used that time to fine-tune their processes. One thing that stands out is their commitment to backward integration.
Okay, I'm going to need you to break that down for me.
Sure. Basically, it means controlling as much of the supply chain as possible.
Okay.
In WCPM's case, it starts with their relationships with farming communities and their emphasis on farm forestry.
Okay.
They distribute millions of seedlings to farmers at subsidized rates.
Really?
Yeah, encouraging them to plant trees that WCPM can then purchase.
So they're not just buying wood from whoever's selling it.
Right.
They're actively creating a sustainable source of raw materials.
Exactly.
It's like they're planting the seeds for their own future.
It's a great way to ensure a steady supply of high-quality wood while also supporting local communities and promoting responsible forestry practices.
And it reduces their reliance on imported wood chips, which we've talked about can be a bit of a wild card.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like they're building this resilient ecosystem around their whole business.
Absolutely.
But let's not forget about those cheaper paper imports.
Right.
How are they dealing with that pressure?
Well, as we've touched on before, diversification is key. They're not putting all their eggs in one basket.
Okay.
They're branching out into higher margin products. Packaging, specialty papers, and of course those optical fiber cables.
Right. They're not just making paper.
Yeah. No.
They're creating solutions for a wide range of needs.
Absolutely.
And if they can get a premium price for some of these specialty products, that could help offset some of the losses they're facing from the cheaper imports.
Exactly. And their research and development efforts are important here too.
Okay.
They're constantly working to improve the quality and performance of their products.
So it's like they're saying, we may not always be the cheapest, but we're going to be the best.
That's a great way to put it.
And that dedication to quality and innovation is probably why they have those strong credit ratings and investor confidence.
Right. It all ties together.
It really does.
Yeah.
We've gone from what seemed like a simple paper company to this incredibly complex organization.
It's true.
They're facing challenges, but they're adapting, they're innovating, and they're positioning themselves for future growth.
It's a great reminder that there are often these surprising stories behind even the most seemingly mundane industries.
I agree. It just goes to show that with a little digging, you can uncover fascinating insights and unexpected twists in any industry.
Absolutely. And speaking of unexpected twists, one final thought for you to consider.
Okay.
WCPM is really pushing expansion in optical fiber cables, and they're even acquiring plywood companies.
Interesting.
What does this tell us about their long-term vision? Are they moving beyond traditional paper products? That's something to watch. As WCPM's story continues to unfold.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It seems like WCPM is writing a whole new chapter in their history, and we can't wait to see what happens next.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of West Coast paper mills.
My pleasure.
Until next time, happy exploring.